Aloha everybody and welcome to part 10 of Mega Man ZX Advent, and now we're at the Floating Ruins, which looks a little familiar to Area A from the first game. Ah! The ground! Ah! Or it would if this chunk of rock we're standing on didn't just magically start flying into the sky. What the hell? Phew, it stopped. The ground is floating! What's going on? Are you alright? That area is experiencing a gravitational anomaly. Also, powerful energy reactions have been discovered. In all likelihood, they are the cause of the gravitational anomaly. Proceed to investigate the energy reactions. Damn it, Knuckles, why'd you have to get the Master Emerald back? We're a little busy here, man. Your timing couldn't be worse. But either way, folks, welcome to the Floating Ruins, where your number one cause of death is most likely going to be Bottomless Pits. This place has a lot of bottomless pits, and sometimes you need to look before you leap. And remember, anytime you take damage, you tend to suffer a lot of knockback, and if you're in the middle of the jump and then something hits you, and you go backwards, well, then you're probably going to fall into the pit and die. There's like no ground underneath this. You have to land on these tree branches, you have to land on these platforms, otherwise you're falling and dying. And this place has a wind gimmick, so as you can see, I'm standing on the platform and I'm constantly being pushed to the right, which is not fun at all. And it also has one of the worst enemy types in this level too, because you have these floating turrets, right? These green turrets that shoot yellow pellets at you, but the thing is, they have stealth camouflage. One minute you'll see them, and then they can disappear into the background, and then you don't know where they are, and you can still do contact damage with them, they can still shoot pellets at you, and you can still shoot them as well, but, you know, because they're blending in with the background, you never see it coming when you run into them or when it shoots you, and that's never good. Hey, did you come here looking for the booty too? Everybody in Mega Man ZX is looking for the booty. It's all about dat booty, man. All about dat booty. But either way, there is a sub-tank in the Floating Ruins, and we're talking to Meg here in order to get that sub-tank. She makes us do a side quest where we have to find 4 collectible items in this level, in this area that we're in, the Floating Ruins. And that means we have to go all the way back to the entrance, we have to go pretty much every corner of this map and find these 4 special items to give to her. This is considered the hardest sub-tank in the game to get. Luckily, it is nowhere near as obnoxious or as time-consuming or as tedious as the sub-tank in Mega Man ZX1, where you had to revisit the area 6 or 7 times, backtracking to and fro, just because, you know, padding! We know game design, we think! Either way, I actually blew through this level rather quickly because I wanted to get the side quest done in this video, and I didn't know how long it would take, but I'm already at the boss, and the boss is a Mega Man.
What's a Model W doing here? Could this be the source of the gravitational anomaly?
Inescapable destiny. So, you came, Mega Man Model A. But I'll be taking the Model W.
Aeolus? What are you doing collecting all those Model Ws?
That's a silly question. You call yourself a Mega Man, yet you don't even know the significance of Model W. You fear what you don't understand, and eliminate what you fear. It's because of foolish people like you that there is conflict.
I don't know what all that ideological babble was about, but it sounded a lot like a threat.
So it is. In the world I have in mind, there is no place for idiots like you, Mega Man Model A. Your time's up, fool.
Well, maybe you'd like me better if you got to know me, Aeolus. Jeez. Either way, folks, this boss fight is rather close, rather intimate. It's on one single screen. There are no hills. There's no walls to jump on. So it's just you reacting to Model H here, dodging all of his attacks as best as you can, and I rather like it. I actually play this fight mostly as Mega Man A just for fun, because I just like having just a charge shot and reacting to all of his stuff. This fight is actually very similar to me, to like the Mega Man 8 base fight. It's one of my favorite fights in the game, honestly. Like, one of the best fights in the game, and The only parts I ever have trouble with are just the electric spinners, because for some reason I almost always take contact damage. I keep anticipating when the spinners are happening, and I almost always don't dash fast enough, or I dash too early, and I almost always take contact damage from that. But dodging his regular attacks is super fun.
A woeful miscalculation. To think that I could be bested by a plebeian. I'll never acknowledge one as ignorant as you, Mega Man. Your time's up, fool. I will right this world's wrongs.
Extracting from code UC80 to AC195. Expanding report data. The power of biometal isn't something to be had by just anyone. It's a power which should only be obtained by a chosen one. One with the ability to change the world.
Change the world? Sounds like Maverick talk to me!
I devised this cipher to lock away the power of the biometal. A cipher that would allow only the Chosen One to unleash its power. In other words, it's locked to its biomatch. All humans who get a bionic body have to come to Legion for inspection. I made sure that every bionic body part I inspected was infused with my DNA. That is the key to the cipher, the proof of being the Chosen One. Yes, by viewing this data, you now have within you my DNA. What the hell?
Who is this guy? So I'm a blood relative of Albert? I know it's not easy, but don't let it get to you. That's just some label Albert made up. Try not to think about it. Yeah. That Albert guy just used his position as one of the Sage Trinity to do whatever he wanted.
It's true that Albert knew more about technology than anyone, but we had no idea that that was the kind of man he was. We should have known better.
It's okay. I was kind of prepared for it. But if it's only a matter of becoming a Mega Man, then I'm no different from Aeolus. There must be a reason that Albert treats me special. I guess the only one who knows that is Albert.
The gravity in the area should normalize momentarily. Head to the next destination.
And we just got ourselves a new biometal form, ladies and gentlemen. We can transform into Aeolus, aka Model H, based off of the character Harpooya from the Zero series. And this is one of the best biometal forms in the game, if you want my honest opinion, simply because it's a melee fighter and it has air dashes. When you dash in the sky, whether sideways or straight upwards, you have extra mobility, you have extra reach. You can get to places you couldn't before. And the melee attacks mean you get up close and personal with his two pink swords. In order to do the blade beam combo, you have to push YRY, and then you shoot the pink beam outwards. And it's fantastic. And right there, we just picked up a light bulb, which is one of 4 items we need to collect in order to help out Meg, who we just ran into earlier, for her side quest. Why do I keep turning into Chrono Force? In order to help with her side quest, so that we can get ourselves a sub-tank. So we're not leaving this level quite yet. I'm actually going to be warping back to the start of the Floating Ruins to go through this entire area all over again. Until you accept the request, the items don't spawn in, right? That light bulb would not have been there if I didn't accept the request. So that's why all the places I go to, I didn't get the item there because there was no item there, you know. It doesn't spawn until the game knows it's there, but whatever. So, all of these items are based off of classic Mega Man. The light bulb we picked up was actually a health power-up from the very first Mega Man 1. And we just got ourselves an L-Tank. I grabbed it too fast to look at the actual, item, but it was basically, as you remember it, just a blue can with the letter L on it. All of these items are from the classic era of Mega Man, 20XX. So they're really, 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 really old. The light bulb especially so, because it comes from the very first Mega Man game. It was what the health power-ups were. Because did you ever notice how the health power-ups were just these yellow balls with the black dots in the middle? And then in Mega Man 2 and onwards, they became different? Basically, the light bulb was a Mega Man 1 health power-up. And the L-Tank was, of course, an item that Proto Man used to help Mega Man out in Mega Man 5. You're fighting fake Proto Man, Dark Man, right? And Mega Man can't take the shot because he thinks it's Proto Man and he doesn't want to kill Proto Man. But then Dark Man shoots you, and then you're about to die, but then Proto Man comes in and he saves the day, and then he refills Mega Man's health with an L-Tank. And that's the only time we ever saw an L-Tank. So, yeah. A piece of history, if I do say so myself. Use Queen Bee in order to get the Yasichi here, which is called a pinwheel in-game, but let's be honest, it's a Yasichi. In every other Capcom game it's ever appeared, it's a Yasichi, so I'm not calling it a pinwheel. But you use Queen Bee to fly underneath all of those wind tornadoes, because otherwise they're going to push you around and it'll be harder to reach this Yasichi otherwise. I think maybe you could actually brute force get on top of it with Chrono Force because he's so heavy. But I never tested that out. I just chose to use Queen Bee instead. A Yasichi is a proud Capcom tradition item. It's also in Mega Man 1, and it's in all the easy mode levels for Mega Man 10. And I recently just saw it in Phoenix Wright, Spirit of Justice. It was a desktop item in Spirit of Justice, but, yeah. Okay, so there's a trick to that area I just got into. Normally, what they want you to do is to use a Pseudoroid we haven't gotten yet in order to reach it. We don't have him yet, though, obviously, so the best way is to use Harpooya and Queen Bee to fly up to the cliff and then air dash into this area, because there are two turrets outside the doorway that when they hit you with this green beam of energy, you can't use the jump button. Like, you can't fly with Queen Bee, you can't hover with Voltron, and these blocks right here, they can be destroyed with a Pseudoroid we'll be getting later. But I don't have him yet, so I had to take the high road, which has those turrets, which will disable your jump ability. Luckily, air dashing is not jumping, and if you get super high enough to the top that you just slide off, air dash to the left, then you can get in no problem. And we just got an energy equalizer in that final room, which is, again, another staple of the classic Mega Man series. It balanced out the weapon energy you picked up into all of your empty Mega Man special weapons. So, yeah. A lot of Mega Man history in those 4 items. And that's it. Once you collect those 4 items, Meg will get you a sub-tank. So this is definitely way, way better than Mega Man ZX's annoying sub-tank. Also, if you're playing on Expert Mode, which is really, really damn hard, really, really, really damn hard, oh my god. I beat it once and never again. But when you play the game in Expert Mode, the only sub-tank you can collect is Meg's. The other 3 sub-tanks are gone, they're not there, but this is the one sub-tank you can get in Expert Mode, so you still have to do this side quest where you find the 4 items, and yeah. But yeah, folks, that's pretty much it. That's the Floating Ruins. I'm just gonna go back to the Tran server, and in part 11 we'll go to the next area. I realized I completely forgot I was going to talk about the medal system with bosses, and I got caught up with this level and everything that was going on in it. So I'll probably talk about the medal system in part 11, but anywho, I can't wait to just sit down after this, because this is actually like my 4th or 5th time recording this video because of technical difficulties and interruptions and stuff, and I don't want to do this again. It's been a long, long process recording just this one part, and I just want to lie down. Anywho, folks, I'll see you in part 11.